Welcome to Masterclass episode 24. This is a show where we play, we explore, and we compete in the world of Hearthstone. And with me this week, as every week, is my co-host Tarn. Tarn, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to a fun show. 24 shows almost down. Yeah, looking forward to this. I think we have just some fun events planned for today, and so I'm looking to get right into it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, as we always do. We're going to review some of the decks we're going to be playing that we've played over the last few weeks. And then we're going to do some cooperative laddering. And we might even end with a touch of customs with analysis. So, with that, I feel like, without further ado, we should warm it up.
Let's do it. Let's warm up.
All right.
It's never too warm here.
No.
In LA. You know,
no.
Need to stay warm.
I
forgot my jacket. Alright, we're gonna go with this, why not?
Alright. Gotta do it.
Oh god, why?
Why? No! Don't do that. Oh, Uther. Alright. Fair enough.
That's a nice. Alright.
You asked for it.
Alright. It's okay. Alright.
We're all good?
We're okay.
Well, let's see how this mage deck fares against Uther. I wonder if this is going to be a party, or if this is just going to be a gathering.
I mean, I guess let's go
The
here.
light protects me.
Go there.
I can see that. Little leper gnome to the face, asking for them hugs.
Oh, that's not very polite.
No, it's not very polite at all. Ooh, looky what we have here. And a coin. Looks like this is going to be a race.
You know, so you're feeling icky, I'm feeling icky. We're just, you know. Okay.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you know, that mana worm really, he wanted a friend out there. He wanted to get a little bit of power. And booyah, Frostbolt came.
Alright.
What you got in that bag of tricks for me? Got that in that bag of tricks, which is great because he's going to get bigger after I
It's okay.
cast another spell.
You know, we knock one spell off.
That's true, it's true. Yeah, sure.
Are you getting cards? That's alright. You get cards, I'll get minions, you know? That's the way. That's the way we'll go.
That's fine. I don't know, why not? This is a warm-up. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Fair enough.
Put this apple on your head.
Okay, I'm aware of that guy. I've got a little recruit action
Put
here.
that up on your head. Let's do it.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
could go wrong, possibly.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I feel like that juggler is a little too knifey for my taste. I gotta get rid of him.
Oh, a little too bitey.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might just...
Ooh. Well, that guy's going down in a turn, unless, of course, you can give him Divine. Oh! Now I really hope you can give him a Divine Shield, or else he's going down. Oh, there it is! There it is. Okay. So we've got 6 mana here.
We don't have arcane missiles in hand.
Oh, that would be so nice. We've got a shot.
Oh no!
We've got a shot.
Not the juggler.
Come on, go.
Don't you do it.
Go. Yes!
Oh, it's cruel.
It's a cruel world. It's a cruel world. That was like a 1 out of 3, right? Oof.
It was a 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3.
I just like broke your heart, didn't I?
No, I'm okay.
You okay?
We're okay. We'll get through this.
Ooh, yeah, you will. To Northrend, eh?
We're going to Northrend.
We're going straight to Northrend.
We're going all the way north, you know?
Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's do it. 5. Do I want that or do I want that? I guess we're gonna do it this way. Oh, that's perfect.
It's getting. Come on, all 4 of them hit me in the face. Why not? No, 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 no.
All right.
I got a couple of them.
That worked out. The RNG is really in my favor. This is almost not fair at this point.
It's pretty typical. It's pretty typical of my RNG. You know, I'm used to it. We're okay. We're okay with that.
Ooh, to my Azure Drake, huh?
Come see, you know, RNG. You know, knives.
Wow,
and,
this is getting really close. Okay, let's see here.
Oh yeah, like I have to even think what you're gonna do. Let's see. I mean, there seems to be only one logical choice, and it's probably in your hand.
Yeah, I can't. The thing is, I was hoping to be able to get lethal here, but I can't at the moment.
Hoping to get lethal.
I was hoping for lethal. All right, 11 points of damage. You got 1 turn.
Ugh.
You got 1 card in 1 turn. Oh, what? Might extend it a little bit. That's gonna extend it a little bit, maybe.
Let's see. If you got a fireball, let's see. 6, 10, 14, 15 damage with 1 fireball. If you have 2 spells, then
I've got the Blood Mage.
Oh, come on now.
And
you had 2 spells anyways. You did not need that Blood Mage.
You're right, I did.
You did not need that Blood Mage.
You're right. I forgot that, to be honest, I forgot that the spell, thank you. I forgot that the spell buffed up the Mana Worm when I was doing my math. GG.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So you were thinking you were still short with the Blood Mage then?
Yes, I thought that would have put me right in the number that I needed. All right, guys. That was our warm up, and it was a fun one. Tarn took a little bit of a beating, but as it happens.
It's typical warm-up, you know?
It is typical warm-up. Typical warm-up like a few weeks
Nothing
ago.
warms you up faster than just getting the crap beat out of you.
Pretty
warm now. I'm pretty warm. Good.
That is true.
Okay.
So, the deck we're going to be starting out with, which I'll be playing first on the ladder, is that Mage. So, let's go to that ladder Mage deck and take a look at him. I call her that bitch. So, as you can see here, this is a deck we played a few weeks back that we did the mulliganing for. The only difference is we did remove 1 Ice Lance, a controversial removal, for Harrison Jones. And the reason we did that was that Tarn, who plays this deck a lot more than I do, found that his toughest matchups were Warrior and...
Well, Warrior is by far the toughest matchup. Druid also is probably the second toughest. However, within the past... Well, I mean, it's been popular for a long time now, but last week I was seeing an unusually large amount of Miracle Rogues as well.
Yes.
And so this deck is all about the aggression and all about the card draw. And Harrison Jones, being in the 5-drop, fills a turn that is often one of the weaker turns for the deck. If you don't have something like an Azure Drake, it's a little weak. If you don't have some combo cards to play, that can be a little weak. So, I mean, the ideal situation is you're facing a rogue, facing a warrior, facing a hunter. You smash a weapon, you get cards.
Yeah.
But even just having a nice general beefy minion to play on turn 5, yes, he's a little weak with the 4 defense, a little under the curve, but just having something to lay down that can draw some attention, it can draw some removal. If he lives and you get to go with to the face with him or clear out another minion, then all the better. So
yeah, and if he does draw cards, wow, it's going to be tough.
Oh, absolutely. And I was finding, you know, the Ice Lance is great. There's definitely plenty of games that I've had where you, of course, win. You throw down a nice Blood Mage, Frostbolt, Ice Lance combo, maybe even have a water elemental thrown in there as well. A watermelon thrown in there. You know, you're eating some snacks.
Give me a big hug. I don't want a hug. I want a watermelon.
But that Ice Lance, just as often or even more often, can be a dead card in your hand, especially in the early game if you mulligan into it.
And there's plenty of damage in this deck. It's not lacking. So it's a good card, but it has opportunity to be a dead card. So we're playing a warrior here, and we have to assume it's aggro.
Warlock.
Oh, I said warrior, didn't I? Sorry, I got the warrior on the brain. We're
That's
playing
fine.
a warlock here, and we have to assume it's aggro. So I would tend to keep all of these. Maybe not the Wolf Rider, but it's a good turn 3 card, so I would maybe keep that. What,
No,
you're the expert here. What are your thoughts?
This is a really good draw. You could hope for slightly better draws, but that would be like really risky.
What would you want possibly instead of a Wolf Rider? We're going to keep this.
I would keep it. You know, if you had something like the Knife Juggler and comboed with Mirror Images or something, or a Sorcerer's Apprentice to go with that Frostbolt and Arcane Missiles as well.
So we have options here. We can turn one Frostbolt to get rid of this. We can wait for a turn and then charge in, which kind of doesn't make sense. We can go for the Arcane Missiles. We can just bring out the Leper Gnome. Looking at it, I would probably bring out the Leper Gnome and maybe next turn Frostbolt with a possible Arcane Missiles. What do you think?
Here, I would actually bring out the Knife Juggler.
Really?
Get that minion on board.
This is why you're the expert.
Worst case scenario, he might trade and then use like a Mortal Coil, in which case you're still getting one card out of him. He's getting the card cycle, but you're still at least getting the minion. Next turn, you'll have the opportunity to Frostbolt or bring down the Leper Gnome, which will get a knife and then more missiles with the arcane missiles.
Yeah, so because we have the 1 mana Leper Gnome and the 1 mana Arcane, so here's your Mortal Coil.
So here's the worst case scenario, but this is most likely going to be his full turn. He could play something like a Flame Imp, in which case we can now just kill, and he took the 3 damage to the face.
Yeah.
If you want to be super greedy, you can play the Leper Gnome and missiles. Actually, now this is a case where I'd be greedy. I would actually play the Apprentice and missiles and hope for the RNG, but since you're in control, I'm feeling pretty confident with the RNG coming down here.
Now that you said that, it probably will go the other way. And the reason we want to play the Apprentice, obviously it gives the Arcane a 0 cost, but is that because next turn it'll allow us to Frostbolt for 1? I mean...
Yeah, next turn you could Frostbolt for 1, next turn...
but what does Frostbolting for 1 do next turn? We'll get to play our hero power, but if we're going to play the Leper Gnome next turn, we don't need a Frostbolt for 1. I would almost... yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I might still Frostbolt.
You know, the safer play is... probably the safest play is just playing the Leper Gnome.
Yeah.
And then next turn you can come down with the Sorcerer's Apprentice along with the Frostbolt if he plays, say, a Taunt.
Yeah.
But if he plays something like a Shield Bearer, then it's a little bit wasteful. But
so why don't? Okay, so I think maybe
it's weird that we're getting an arrow during our turn from him.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, we're gonna give it a go.
This is definitely the greedier play, but if it pans out, awesome. We get the damage in. We've now got a 3 attacking minion that can trade, and we have another 3 attacking minion that can go to the face after a trade.
Yeah.
Or we have the spells. And he had to tap, which is awesome. He's probably going to Soulfire.
Nope.
Wow, those arrows are just coming everywhere.
And then Soulfire. What is going on here? This must be a glitch. Okay, it's like he's trying to like... Okay, so... we can clear this, and then we can play the Leper Gnome. That would probably be the... Or we can play the Wolf Rider and just go face double.
Both are fine options. I would probably clear it at this point. You're not going to lose your minion. He already did use 1 Mortal Coil. And now you're still going to have that 3 attack on board and the Leper Gnome, which is nice. And next turn, we should be able to clear any minions he puts down, as well as get the Water Elemental out.
The thing I think you want to be wary with the Warlock, oh, there's your second Mortal Coil, is with the Warlock, they often, if they've got Argent Squires, they might have the Blood Knight.
Exactly.
And so you don't want to leave that shield on there, allowing for a possible 6/6.
Yeah, a lot of them have been playing that Blood Knight recently.
Alright. So, here, I tend to think Wolf Rider and then face with the Leper Gnome, but the other option would just be the Water Elemental. And the thing is, if we want to ping, we would Frostbolt and ping. That's kind of seems like a waste.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to Frostbolt and ping.
So maybe we ping and hit face, or we just bring out the Water Elemental.
I would bring out the Water Elemental, and I'd go ahead and hit face with the Leper Gnome.
So we're taking a little bit of a risk here.
We are, but if he plays a Blood Knight, we still have the Frostbolt in hand, as well as the Wolf Riders, so we are actually okay there.
Yeah. And Hey, look at this. Yeah, it's definitely a little glitch.
Yeah. Wow. This is an unusual deck for a zoo that he's playing.
Yeah, you don't know. Well, remember, we're at rank 17 here. I haven't had a chance to rank
new
up.
New season.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to start counting up here. We have 3.
Yep.
We have 5. We have 8, 9 damage potential.
I would maybe get rid of
we
the
have
dire.
12 damage potential, actually.
Yeah. I would maybe get rid of the dire wolf and
I would get rid of the direwolf. I would ping off the leper gnome.
we're frostbolting the dire wolf, right?
No, I would get rid of him with your leper gnome.
Oh.
You're going to go ahead and do some damage, and then we're going to take his damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can
Wolf Rider?
Wolf Rider his face.
You just got Wolf Ridered, baby.
Mm-hmm. Wolf Ridered. And see, now people are like, hey, Tarn, if you had 2 Ice Lances in the deck, you'd have lethal next turn. But, you know, just... we're okay. We still have the spell and the Wolf Rider, so...
Yeah, Tarn. Why don't we have 2 Ice Lances?
It's okay. We're going to draw Harrison next. He's going to be the best card ever.
Ooh, 5/2 charge.
Okay.
Well, that's probably not the best idea.
Nope. We do have lethal. We have exactly 10 points with that Frostbolt, so we also have the Wolf Rider if you want to be excessive to him. But that is a GG. Oh, look at you. I didn't even have to ask if you wanted to be excessive.
Nah.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough. We got him.
Alright. So, got a little bit of a win streak here. Ranking up, getting back on the new ladder season. And yeah, that was a good little match right there. We're going to take this opportunity to review another deck, and then Tarn is going to play the Shaman. Since the Shaman is more my specialty, I will be sort of coaching, if you will, and Tarn will be playing. And this Shaman is not a tournament Shaman. This is a ladder Shaman, built specifically for what you see on the ladder, which is a tons of aggression and you know, depending on the level that you're at, you might see more rogues, more miracle rogues, and this early on we might not see as many, but this deck is really geared towards dealing with aggression and those miracle rogues as best as a shaman can. Let's switch it out.
Cool. Alright.
So, one of the hallmarks of this deck, which you would not normally see in a shaman deck and is really bad in tournament play, is the Earth Elemental. We talked a little bit about it last week. We've removed the Feral Spirit. We've added in the Fork Lightning. And we've got the Unbound to couple with all of those overloads. So it's a pretty strong deck. We've talked about it in depth last week. So we can maybe move into the game unless there's a couple things you want to mention.
No, I like it. I really like the removal. Obviously, the controversial move in this one is the removal of the Feral Spirit. But
Yeah.
we did cover that. The ideas behind that last week in episode 23. So if you're wanting to know a little bit more about the choices Kobe made for this deck, I would recommend checking out that show.
Yeah.
I think this deck is a lot of fun, and I've been itching to try it out. I haven't been able to test it yet myself.
Because you lack the cards. No, he doesn't lack it. He doesn't lack any cards.
Well, I lack the cards. But
You lack the cojones.
Whoa. Okay, so I believe it was Come At Me Bro was the name of
Come at me, bro.
So actually, just to retouch on that mage game, that is, you know, the warlock, especially when you're facing Zulok, it's a little bit of a different style. It's kind of like sometimes you're like stutter stepping the face. Sometimes you're pinging the face, but you're looking for the key minions to trade out, like the dire wolves. And oh, look at that, and a mage, a golden mage. We seem to like to get the golden opponents here on Masterclass.
Despite we're at being at rank 16, this looks like a strong mage. In this case, I would keep the Lightning Storm because I'm imagining there's going to be a ton of aggression, and if there's not a ton of aggression, the Lightning Storm's fine in the late game to hold on to. Earth Shock's amazing to deal with loot hoarders, to deal with leper gnomes, to deal with mana worms. Unbound's fine turn 3, turn 2. We don't have the coin, but I think this is a good hand.
Yeah, I was generally thinking it's pretty good, and I'm glad you confirmed that before I even had to ask.
I forgot. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm in the passenger seat, guys.
Damn it!
You're up. Go for it.
All right. Well, I think we're good. I think we're good here. So we'll see what we get. We'd like We'd like a little bit more early game, maybe a little bit more removal. A Feral Spirit is also
It's a
fine.
fine card. It's a fine card. Look at that golden fireball.
I know, I'm so jealous right now. I'm still like 200 games away. I haven't been able to play that much, as much as I'd like to.
Is Mage what you're going for?
Mage is by far what I'm closest to, so I think I'm going to have to make the push.
Okay. So, there's a chance, this could be any Mage deck. The Mana Worm's in anything. There's a chance a Leper Gnome will come out, but that will be 2 additional damage we'll take if we Earth Shock. I'm fine with Earth Shocking this. I just don't want it to build up and take damage against me. And of course, I've started saying what I was going to do before I let you say what you were going to do.
That's okay. No, I was going to ask if you typically Earth Shock right away, or if you want them to, buff it. But then that does take away a turn 3 from us.
Yeah.
So for that, I think just having a 1/2 minion out there,
it's not
probably
scary.
Isn't bad, and it's not scary.
And it's not going to do anything to our Unbound if we bring it out. It's not going to do anything to our Ferals if we bring it out.
Right.
And there's not much else in the deck other than the Leper Gnome we want to Earth Shock.
Yeah, and playing a Mage, it's not the most painful. The most painful thing is a Rock Biter right away.
Yeah.
But having your Mana Worms dealt with right away is still
He said
painful.
well played, so I think he thinks that was a good move.
Good.
My magic will
Now here on turn 3, it doesn't quite seem necessary that we overload ourselves right away with the Feral Spirits. So if I was playing, I would lean towards the Unbound with the possibility of either a Lightning Storm or a Feral Spirit next turn to buff the Unbound and push forward that way. But
Yeah,
what would
you nailed it.
here?
The key turn to overload yourself for 2 is to do it on turn 4. So if you can by any means not do it on turn 3, don't. And the best thing about it is that we have the Lightning Storm in case a bunch of minions come out, and we have the Feral if they don't, buffing our Unbound.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a key turn. So this is going to be
we
a
have
secret.
Mage.
Yep.
Okay.
There's your secret. So that could be
Could be a counter spell.
could be a counter spell, which will counter the Feral Spirits. So in this case, I don't want those Ferals to be countered. That's too strong against the Mage. I might drop a Storm here, and if it doesn't kill anything, we use our Unbound to take care of his.
Because the Unbound will get the buff either way.
It will get
before
the
the counter goes off.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, we potentially kill everything on the board. I don't want to lose those Ferals.
Yeah, losing those minions. Those minions are great any time of the game, early game, late game.
Yeah.
Especially great.
It's a golden Mage too.
After he tosses down a Flame Strike, it's a great great way to recover.
Okay, so it's been countered. Well played.
Oh, has that been changed? I thought it. Oh, okay. The buff was just slow.
And let's get rid of that guy, keeping our guy alive, forcing either the Mana Worm or Hero Power. Well played. And if he doesn't deal with this, if he goes hyper aggro, for some reason he's got a turn 4 that he really wants to play, well, our Unbound's going to have 2 health next turn, so screw him.
Right. It's always an interesting situation. The Unbound still gets the buff. However, we don't get the overload, so it's actually still.
Oh wow! I did not know we didn't get the overload.
Right, so it's like it works out pretty nice.
Thank you, Blizzard. I really didn't know. I knew every aspect of that, but I was totally unaware of the lack of overload. Turn 5. I mean, next turn we're really going to want to be able to. Well, actually, no. This is an interesting little conundrum.
It is interesting. I mean, we don't have anything that can remove that straight up unless we got a lucky totem, 25% spell damage.
Which I think we're probably going to do a totem with the Ferals anyway. So
would you not lean towards cycling here with an Azure Drake, or do you save your Azure Drakes when you're for guaranteeing spell damage?
I like to. I really like to save them for damage, but what I always do is look at the overload, and I tend to let the overload decide. Next turn we'll have 4 if we Feral.
Right, which actually doesn't leave us
anything
good. But a totem.
Right, and this turn, if we Lightning Bolt, next turn we'll have 5, which is great. So, but the problem is if we totem, we're screwed. So I would, yes, lean to bringing down the Drake for overload's sake.
And next turn, we will have the opportunity to Gadgetzan and Lightning Bolt with 6, which could get us a card.
Yeah.
And this guy is upset about us taking forever every turn, but
Sorry,
he
buddy.
will have to deal with it.
Let's just let him know that we're, we're apologizing because we are taking a really long time.
I'm not sorry that happened.
The element.
now we're like bipolar.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we kind of are. I mean, so
yeah. Okay,
so
fireball.
we need a fireball
On our
That's not
Drake, we're
bad.
hoping really good. That's always nice as a shaman with no healing. Only thing better here is if we could have actually drawn another Drake. But the gadget stand is more important than the Drake. Getting rid of that 2/4 with the lightning bolt is not as important as potential card draw. This is a turn where if we... well, go ahead.
It's, again, tough because none of the spells... We'd like to play the gadget stand in a lightning bolt or a rock biter. None of them will remove it. Yeah. I would almost say this would be the turn to play the totem and the feral spirits.
Yeah.
Just because it is still going to be turn 6. It is still before his Flame Strike.
Yeah.
And really, as a mage, using a Flame Strike to just clear out a feral spirit is like...
Yeah.
It breaks your spirit.
Let's do it. Let's bring out that totem. Let's kill his guy right away with a lightning bolt. And now next turn we were going to have 5, but we'll now have 4. So that's okay, though, because we're taking quite a board presence. I think that's fine.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. Alright, RNG is in our favor. Tarn, what's going on here, bud?
It's not my computer.
Okay.
I mean, you're doing all the talking. you're really... You got it.
Yeah. The RNG is coming towards me.
Okay, turn 6 coming out of a mage. It is a secret mage, so there's not that much... Yeah,
water elemental.
I'd say that's probably the scariest thing that could come out here.
Unfortunately for him, we still have our totem up here, which is spell power, giving us 4, allowing us to clear this either with our face and the rock biter or with our feral. So we can also now hex.
Yeah, I mean hexing.
There's not much you want to do other than hex this, but considering that we have the spell power totem. And that overloading next turn's okay, because on 8 we could play Gadget Zan Hex. What do you think?
That's tough. I mean, if we didn't hex, it could be just like a totem and pass and hit his face. Obviously, we could totem and trade down, but we then would not have 8 mana. We would be still stuck at 7.
I mean, if we didn't have the Gadget Hand, I'd use the Lightning Bolt on it and then use the Rock Biter with our Totem and keep going. But because we have the Gadget Hand, we're going to want that card draw. I think maybe we Lightning Bolt and trade. That's the safe play here and add a Totem.
This is definitely where...
we differ.
Some of the different styles come in, and it is a different deck. This is more of a control deck. I play a lot more aggression decks, and so with the decks that I play, you typically take those moves, and it is now a great thing that we saved the hex.
Yeah, I look like a genius. He gets a fireball. We've taken no damage.
We are in a lot of trouble, though, however, because he did just bank 2 fireballs no matter what.
But we would have been in that trouble either way. Now we've just taken less damage to the face, and we have a taunt minion.
Right.
So we can't Gadget Zan Hex because we use that Lightning Bolt.
Right.
But we can Hex and bring out a Totem, which is totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I think that's about the only thing there is to do.
Yep. And next turn we will be able to Gadget Zan Storm. So he banked 2 fireballs. That's 12 damage. 14 if he has buffer.
Yeah, I have a feeling we could be in a lot of trouble. The fact that he's been running these secrets means he most likely is running Pyro in this deck.
Probably.
Which would give him definitely 2 fireballs in hand, if not a 3rd fireball in hand, as well as a Pyro possibility.
We do have, though, we have 9 mana. We can Alakir Rockbiter probably next turn since we have to clear this totem this turn. But, you know, what would you do in this case?
It's really tough. It's, the Gadgets and Storm still isn't bad, although I might, in this case, I mean, we definitely would like to get the Gadgets out. The Gadgets and Storm...
I'm thinking
we could do Gadgets and Storm and then Rockbiter, and we would kill one of the Karns off.
I like it. I think it's the best play, and we're going to draw some cards.
As much as the Rockbiter Alakir is awesome, I think.
Yeah. And let's save the spell. Let's kill the spell power totem once we Lightning Storm, because we're not going to take the damage on ourselves. So I would.
You would kill the spell power
because we have another spell power. We have no more spells, and we're going to want some healing.
That's a very good point.
Let's see what we draw. Okay, let's finish that off. 3 damage. So next turn, he's not going to be able to hit us unless he has somewhere clearing the totem. And we can absolutely clear that with a variety of options. We can use Alakir plus Gadget Sand. We can use Fire Elemental. We've got some options here.
Yeah, however, be very wary. Flame Strike is imminent.
He didn't need that, so we're not getting Flame Strike. Well, why would you play that?
It's a minion on board. You know, his only other option would be to ping, and so you might as well get that on board.
This is where the Fork Lightning is a genius card. We can clear both minions with this. Fork Lightning before Fire Elemental.
Yep, I was just saying, if we had 1 more mana, we could also get the Blood Mage down in there.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, can't be
Fork Lightning is such a critical card against aggression, and even though this deck isn't a traditional aggro deck, it's trying to put damage on our face, and you can see that all of a sudden we're in a really great spot. I mean, other than the 2...
Oh yeah, for the board, obviously we're in a great spot.
We can't help what his plays were, but having 2 lightning storms and the Fork Lightning helps.
Absolutely, it is great. Unfortunately, I think we'll probably just see him going face from here on out. Yep. So that is game.
Yeah. Next turn.
Well, but there is absolutely nothing we can do to either kill him or prevent the 12 damage to the face.
Well, yeah. I have an Earthen Ring Farseer in this deck, so that's nice. Let's see.
I mean, in this case, there really isn't too much to do. We do 100% know that it's game. 2 of his 3 cards are Fireball.
Yeah.
If they were not Fireball,
I would think
I would probably Alakir and trade in.
Alakir, clear Leroy, hit the face.
I mean, there is the possibility that he's running mirrors. You usually don't see mirrors in constructed, but sometimes you do. And then we would want to test the secret with the 1/1s in case it's vaporized.
Good call. And we know that it's probably not. We know it's probably Ice Block.
Yeah,
right?
so here comes the
2 Fireballs.
Yep.
GG. Well played. Well, I mean, having that the double Fireball did prove to be our downfall, as you suspected very early on.
It's tough. I give props to him for playing it. I've been seeing it crop up a little bit more. Archmage Antonidas has been getting such a bad rap. Yeah. He is one of my favorite cards. He does not work in every mage deck. One of them being that aggro mage deck.
Yeah.
He doesn't work in. But when you have a situation like that on turn 7, to play him, play a coin, play an Arcane Missiles, you played him and you got 2 Fireballs back. So no matter what happens to him, you already got more than his value in return just by playing him on the board.
Absolutely.
And if he lives 1 turn, then that's it. If he lives 1 turn with any spells in hand, it's just game.
Yeah. Even though we lost, that was a fun game. I'm thinking maybe we save the customs for analysis next week and let you ladder again.
Hey, all right. That's fine with me.
All right.
Go ahead and take it for 1 more spin. Maybe we'll get another golden mage. Maybe what would be a golden rogue? Maybe.
Ooh, I faced a few golden rogues in my day. Actually, they're not usually as good as the non-golden rogues. I've only faced a few, but apparently playing a rogue a million times doesn't make you really good at it.
A lot of the goldens, not all of them. A lot of goldens have played a lot of rush decks, so you see more golden hunters than anything. You see more golden warlocks playing the zoos. Okay, warrior we are playing against.
Yeah.
This one's tough. I feel like it is always nice to have 1 Rockbiter, although there isn't that much to Rockbiter in the warrior.
Yeah, there really isn't. And if you're gonna get a 3 damage removal spell, you're gonna want the lightning bolt. So
right.
I think you're kind of saying maybe keep 1 removal, but ultimately this is probably not a rush deck. So I think that kind of sort of what you're thinking, kind of on the edge, is correct, which is just to get rid of all of these.
Yeah, it's always tough. The same situation comes up with the mage and Arcane Missiles.
And I
get rid of the Arcane Missiles playing the mage against a warrior.
And if you're playing against a mage and you get a Rockbiter, which there it is again, it's good to keep because you can get rid of that mana worm. So whereas there's not a mana worm in this deck.
Yeah, and there's nothing, the scary stuff like Armor Smith has 4 health, and Frothing Berserker, 4 health.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing would be like Acolyte of Pain, but
And now we got the Earth Shock, which is what we want. So we've gotten to mulligan into better cards, despite getting a...
And here I would just, you know, I don't see there's any reason to play an Axe. It just kind of leaves it out there to get pinged off. So
certainly, especially because you can still draw into an Unbound Elemental, allowing yourself to do it. And also, you can hit him with a surprise 3 mana 5 attack with your Rock Bite, with your Rock Biter and your Stormforge if necessary.
Right.
You don't want to telegraph that. Okay. So 3 mana here. What are your thoughts?
I think that might be time to hit him with that 5 attack, to be honest.
Yeah, we can do that. The other option is to Earth Shock it. And because he spent the coin on it and it would help our tempo, I'm not opposed to doing that. To doing the Stormforge and the Rockbiter. Saving the Earth Elemental, saving the Earth Shock for maybe a Karn or something.
For a second one, right.
Yeah, or another one of these. Yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. So yeah, that's a fine play.
I mean, granted, we are spending 2 cards. I would generally lean towards taking the 2 damage and keeping the totem up. What would you feel here?
Well, you can't use the Rockbiter to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, leave the totem up, take the damage, because you have to take it either way to get rid of him. If you put the 3 attack on the
yeah, that's right. We're not taking extra damage.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You're not taking extra damage.
Let's just kill the totem for free.
Yeah, kill the totem for free. The other thing is that you didn't really use 2 cards. You used the Rockbiter and 1/3
Exactly,
of the Axe.
exactly.
Acolyte. This is a card I'm actually really okay with Earth Shocking. Because you don't want him drawing a lot of cards. The question is, we now know what kind of warrior he's playing. This is not aggro,
right?
Because he's playing this. So we know there's going to be really heavy stuff in the end. So this is always the dilemma. Do you let him get 2 cards with this? Or do you, and then by letting him get 2 cards, do you leave yourself an out later with the Earth Shock? Or do you prevent 2 cards right now?
Yeah, that's tough. We did draw into the Unbound, which is
Yeah.
really nice. He doesn't, at the moment, have enough armor banked up for just a swift shield slam against it. But most likely he's got cards in play to draw some cards.
I would tend to Totem Earth Shock. He gets 0 cards. We clear the minion, take 1 damage. And oftentimes when you're thinking way too far into the future, you make mistakes. And we have other... Wait, you want to kill that first?
Oh, yes, of course.
You want to make sure that you deal with the here and now, and we have another Earth Shock, 2 more hexes. We have a lot of options.
Yeah, and we will still be
we get a
back up to 5 mana. Oh,
Yeah.
so he just armored up. Which
And
is
if we
great.
had gotten if we had been lucky enough to get a Flame Tongue Totem, we'd be in a great spot. So we've got 2 options here. Which one do you like better?
Personally, I like the Totem and the Unbound. I think there's generally I lean on the side of not playing the defenders until you get that little surprise extra attack. We would get to put some more damage on his face. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I tend to not put the Unbound down till I'm going to buff it when I know people have the potential to kill it. And with 4 health, he will have the option to add 5 armor and kill our Unbound, which he could do either way. I like the Unbound because then we can buff him next turn with the Defender. It's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I mean, I was also kind of leaning that way. It does use all our mana. Granted, that isn't the biggest deal, 4 mana versus 5.
Maybe you're right. Let's go with the Unbound and Totem and Attack. I think that's fine. And yeah, exactly. I'd put it right there. And if you're not sure what you want to play it next to, you could also play it on the opposite side of the totem.
Of all the totems, yeah.
Yeah, which would give you the option to, if you for some reason want to buff up your 0-2 and your 1-1, you can do that. And then if you choose to buff up your 0-2 and your 2-4, you can do that as well. Hopefully he doesn't get rid of this 2-4. Acolyte of Pain is a good start for us. Whirlwind 1 to everything is pretty standard. So we've prevented some card draw. We're going to heal up here. So I feel like we're in a good spot unless he kills our Unbound with
an execute.
He's thinking about it, I think.
I think he is.
I really do like... okay, so he does execute. That's a good turn. And he would have been able to do this anyway. So I think... Yeah.
I think we got to give him the last card, right? And go ahead and play the defender.
Yep. Play
the totem.
We've got a totem. Play the defender. Use the axe on the 1/1 and go face.
Elements guide me.
Or we could use one of our minions since they'll heal up.
Well, we'd have to use both minions, and that would give him 2 cards.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let us not do that,
My
sir.
shield for honor.
It will be nice 1/3s.
Yeah, I was thinking for some reason they'd be 2 attacks, but that's not the case.
Those Flame Tongues, we're looking for him.
Yeah, Flame Tongue's a great card here for us if we can draw it. And we've got our big game hunter, which is going to be so important versus deck.
Yeah, it's been really nice to have him sitting in the hand the whole time. It's been obviously a dead card, but it's kind of like one of those must-have cards,
Yeah.
so it's really good.
2 hexes, 2 earth shocks, and a big game hunter make it viable to beat this deck.
Absolutely.
It's still tough though.
So on turn 6, we're not really worried about too much. He's
Karn?
played his Karn, but the Warriors. A lot of these Warriors aren't playing Karn. They're opting for the Karkron Elites.
Yep.
And
Okay, so he's going
So
to start
he
clearing
armored
our
up and
totems,
won.
which is fine by us. Does damage to him, and really doesn't do much against us. He goes for the healing totem. So we're going to want a big minion. We're going to hope for like an Earth Elemental or a Drake or something here.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, he uses a Sun.
Okay, so he's using all of his removal here. He's used a lot of stuff. That's a good card for the future, but we're not going to want to play that anytime soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it just leaves us the only option of a totem.
Yep, totem attack. That's it. Not a great card for us. We would really like... You know, we've got so much removal right now. We would really like
A minion.
a minion on there.
Even a Feral Spirit in this case would
It's
have been
pretty
would have
rare
been
to
fine.
not have something to be played right here because we're saving the big game. But I'm actually more fine with this than never getting the big game hunter because turn 7 now he can play out
Baron Geddon.
Yep, and
And,
that would clear all the totems with the attack from the weapon, and then we would. Does Baron Geddon have? Yeah, he's got 7 attacks. So,
Seven. Oh, there he is.
so this is a good turn for us. He thinks he's getting board control. He's not. And we get to play a minion, so we'll now have a minion on the board. He's used his removal, and we get to buff that minion up.
Very nice. And, you know, it also removed his armor. So,
Yes.
not bad, not bad.
Least in my say.
Now, would you prefer to buff him or play for the totem with
And then
the
buff next
hope
turn?
of buffing next turn? I mean, I always kind of get greedy with my defenders and try to go for 2, but this could be one of the cases where it does leave the big game open to a simple armor up and shield slam.
Yeah, it really does. He's used a bunch of his removal, so in this case I'm okay with the totem, actually. But I'm also okay with the defender. We don't want to lose board control. I'd say go with the defender here.
Yeah, actually, the more I thought about it,
For
you know, well, Alec here has taunt anyways. If this was a different big minion, it would be nice to have this minion with taunt and our other big minion sitting kind of protected behind.
Yeah, a 5/3 is a more formidable minion to deal with than a 4/2, as you can see from the Argent Commander nerf way back when. So there you go, 2 damage. It's going to get him to draw a card, but if he ends up using, he's got to use some removal on that, or else he's just card draw.
Probably gonna another slam.
So he's going for the card draw.
He's gonna go for a whirlwind.
A
now
whirlwind.
on top.
Okay, good play. Fair enough. And he's going to buff up his minion. That's okay with us.
Yep, we just get a pure lightning bolt. to
Good
it.
turn. Good play on
Oh,
his.
even better.
Even better. Yep.
So this one I don't think needs any discussion.
No discussion
Go ahead
necessary.
and do that and play a totem.
Give us a totem and move forward. And he's used a significant amount of his removal. 2 shield, 2 slams, 1 shield slam, 1 execute.
I think he's used both whirlwinds, or no?
Both.
Has he used both?
I feel like he has, unless we played another warrior earlier. He did.
Yeah,
he used it
he did
earlier.
use it early on,
So-
and he's used 1 shield block. So
Okay, Armor Smith. This will be fine card, especially if we can draw a brawl. And we.
Oh,
Oh, what a lucky brawl!
brawl! Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
That was well played. Thankfully, it wasn't a full board. We need our ferals at this point.
Yep. Wow. Removal City.
Yeah, I don't really like this. I feel like totem, and if we don't get what we like, oh man, double Alec here onto it. That's really bad.
I mean,
We're in a
I
tough
would
spot.
almost Totem, and if we don't get what we like, double Alakir onto his face.
Okay.
Because he can't just damage it and execute.
But this deck does run Faceless Manips.
That is true.
And we don't have any removal,
point.
so we really don't want to do that. I've had that happen a lot.
Yeah.
I'd rather double Lightning Bolt this.
Yeah.
Than put Alakir out to be copied.
There is not that much more stuff that we're going to be wanting to Lightning Bolt.
Why don't we just throw one Lightning Bolt at it? Because then next turn, if we get a Rock Biter, we can Alakir with the Rock Biter. If we don't, we can Lightning Storm what he brings onto the board. If he doesn't kill our minion, he's only getting 1 extra armor. He'd get it anyway. I think we should single Lightning Bolt here. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, I don't know. It always pains me to use a Lightning Bolt and not kill something, especially if that person gets something in return from it.
Yep. It's not. We're not in a good situation,
right?
Here, but we're not going to use a Lightning Storm.
Oh, of course not. No.
So I think Lightning Bolt. And the reason I did 1 instead of 2 is obviously we have the 1/1 out there to potentially kill it. Here's your charge minion. So that's going to go face. Okay, now we're in a good spot. Now we're going to storm that board.
Yeah, he will. You know, he's looking good with his armor though. That will give him 2 more armor, back up to 8.
Well, we can Alakir Rockbiter and clear this as well if we want. We can also...
We would not need to Rockbiter with the Alakir to clear.
No, you wouldn't. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't need that. So we could Storm, giving him an additional armor. We can Lightning Bolt, and then Rockbiter taking 4 more damage, which we don't really like. I feel like it's Lightning Storm, Totem Lightning Storm.
Yeah, I mean, I like the clear with Alakir. However, at this point, I think we're going to kind of need him for big damage.
The other thing we could do is we could just Lightning Bolt the 4/2, and then next turn still leave us a Alakir Rockbiter combo.
I don't like just leaving that Armor Smith hanging around. I mean, if he's going to be getting armor, that leaves he can put more minions on board.
Okay.
To potentially get more.
And Totem.
More armor from the Lightning Storm later on.
Okay. And we can't Alakir Rockbiter this turn, so hopefully we'll draw into one of our many minions that we have.
You know,
we're not in the worst
Had you
spot.
not taken out both Feral Spirits, we would have had one.
Yeah.
And it would have gotten brawled because we
this is a deck where you'd want both Ferals.
So, absolutely.
This is good that he's using the cool on that instead of on the his Gromish. Ferals are good.
Ferals are good. Do you also remove, or do you just kind of let the Ferals? If we remove, then he's got to eat up 2 of his weapon attacks to get through the Ferals. I guess he still technically does anyways, because...
and you know, we're not going to be able to Alakir Rockbiter next turn anyway, because the Feral's 2 overload, so I would Totem Feral Lightning Bolt. I mean, actually, we could Lightning Storm here, because it's going to eat up a different amount of overload, and there's not... I don't know how much we're going to storm. Maybe just do the Bolt. It's just a potential to think about if there's not going to be a lot more minions on the board. Get rid of the overload now.
Right.
Probably. Okay. He's got 3 minions to eat through now. And we can, not next turn, but the following, we can do 12 damage. So we're in a tricky spot. We need to get our gadgets in and get some removal, get some card draw going.
Yep. Oh my god, that armor.
Yep.
Let's see, what is the deck situation looking like? 8 to 15. So, you know, this isn't bad if we can stave off his really bigs that are coming.
Yeah.
Then we'll be in an okay spot. A Gadgeton would be phenomenal here.
Nope. We need to save that Hex. So I believe it's Totem Storm, because I think we want to save the Rockbiter. What do you think?
Yeah, if we had gotten a Gadgeton, I would have opted for the Gadgeton Rockbiter.
Totally.
Clear. It is tempting still.
Well, now it's definitely dead. Again, if we play this again, we're locking us out of Alakir Rockbiter. But I feel like he's going to bring minions down on the board, and we're going to be able to Hex him next turn.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's keep that board. This isn't a minion-heavy deck that we need to worry about wasting that Lightning Storm, per se.
He's already played all his small things. He's played his two Frotherings. He's played his 2 Acolytes of Pain. I believe he's gone through 2 Armor Smiths, if not just 1.
So Ysera's hexable. If we get the option, we could have silenced it, but I think we'll just probably hex it. Usually if they play Ysera, I don't know if they play Rag. We'll see. Okay. Could we clear this if we wanted to?
Not with 8, unfortunately.
I mean, we can, not with, right, with the Alakir Rockbiter we could have, but not with, so I feel like it's Flame Tongue and Hex, but I think we should hit the face twice before we Hex, bringing down the armor. And let's hopefully get a good totem. Oh. Yeah, we can't get the totem we'd want. What do you think? He's going to clear the Rockbiter. He's going to clear the Flame Tongue next turn.
I think we'd want to kill the Hex, attack face with 1, and kill. Just in case, you know, an Alakir Rockbiter, it would be really sad to have to use one of those swings on a frog.
You're right. Since that's our next move. Yep. And then Hex, and then Totem. And he will get rid of this, most definitely this turn.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that we were locked out of getting another Taunt Totem. But we are at least eating away at his weapon without the weapon hitting the face.
And 12 damage next turn will remove his armor entirely, and will not remove our Divine Shield. So the key is to see what minion he plays here. I also used to run an Ooze in this deck. Okay. Not the worst card. It's not a great card, but it's not the worst card to see.
Seeing another Hex would be awesome.
In the face
is
brutal.
Painful.
So we can't play the Fork Lightning. We're not in a Hex position. Excuse me. The Rag can't hit us. He's used his removal. Yeah, we're in a tricky spot.
It is real tough. I mean, it would be... It's kind of real rough to use our... Let's just try to think. The one last thing we have to worry about is Grommash.
Because, well, he also could have Alexstrasza.
He could, but I feel that is kind of... rather than Ragnaros, I feel Alexstrasza Ysera is kind of the flip, which I think Alexstrasza is stronger, but...
Problem is that this is a lot of the damage we need to do.
Exactly.
I feel like we might be able to Alakir Rockbiter go face and worry about the future later, because we're in a bad spot.
I mean, the one thing obviously that is brutal is if he does have
the copy.
Yeah, the faceless.
Well, yeah, we'd be dead anyway. He'd faceless the Rag.
Yeah.
So if we'd killed the Rag, that might have been better play. Well, he's at 4 attack on the Gorehowl, so he can get rid of the armor, but he can't kill the minion. Let's see how unlucky we are.
I mean, if he has a faceless, the odds of him having it are pretty high.
Yes. Okay, so there it is. Oh, Shield Slam. And then he's not going to Gorehowl this. He's going to Ysera.
Awakens.
Okay. And does he play another minion?
That kills us. That's it. That's game.
Yep, that's Rag hit in the face. Yep, Ysera Awakens. That was a good play. So, okay, so I think that might have been... we should have gone for the very distasteful...
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I was going to mention is... If we could have killed the Rag and he didn't have lethal with, like, a Grommash, which... The Ysera Awakens plus whatever other 2 cards, we don't know.
Yeah.
But if he didn't have lethal and we were able to get through his last big, we could have had the possibility of decking him because he had drawn so many more cards than us.
Yep.
But it is tough. It is one of those situations where it's like, it's not good either way.
Yeah, I still think in hindsight, considering the deck, we probably should have gotten rid of the Rag.
The one thing that we didn't discuss, however, is what that possible card could have been. If we were thinking about Ysera Awakens, which we should have had it in consideration, that could have been a possibility for a full clear there.
Yep.
So that was just kind of an oversight on that thought.
Yep.
But
I agree.
Without that Ysera card, I think I agree with that play 100%. With that Ysera card, it could have been any number of of scary things. Even just getting another Drake on board with his Ragnaros still being alive.
Yeah. Yeah, tricky. I think we had 3 turns in a row where we didn't have any minions we needed, and I think that's where we lost the game.
It was brutal. It was, I mean, we mulliganed to get rid of the removal, and then we just drew nothing but removal from kind of turn number 1 through 8, almost.
Yeah, we had a couple minions here and there, but yeah, I would say it was not the best draws for us, but ultimately 1 or 2 misplays at the end led to our demise. We took a risk, didn't pan out. Good learning experience. So, thank you guys so much. I think that is where we will end it. We'll just sort of end it this way. Tarn, this has been a fun episode. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of blast. Have a lot of fun playing this deck. I do intend to mess around with it some on my own on the ladder, laddering up. I think it's a really great ladder deck. Despite, you know, the tough situations that were shown tonight, I think it's extremely versatile.
Yeah.
The same thing can absolutely happen to the Mage. The Mage is extremely versatile, but sometimes you just run in those situations where you don't get the cards, and you get shut down. I mean, that happens with any deck.
Yeah.
But I think this was a great night, a fun show. And next week, guys, episode number 25. Not going to want to miss that one.
Absolutely.
We're going to have some fun stuff planned for that. So
nice. Yeah, we're going to have a good one next week. One last note on that matchup is that this deck is geared towards dealing with aggression, so its weaker matchup is this deck. That's why I've got that one big game hunter in there, just to make it not a dead deck versus those control matchups. But certainly the I would say the warrior and the rogue tend to be the 2 tougher matchups. So I think we did all right. We'll certainly play more and continue to develop the decks and develop the strategies. And next week, episode 25, don't miss it. Don't miss the Golden Egg Weekly on Friday. And don't miss next week on Thursday, the DKMR Invitational. I will be casting that with DKMR Delizic. That's an invitational where DKMR players will be getting challenged by players such as Trump, Reynad, Gara, and all these players will be challenging DKMR for cash prizes. There'll be a great tournament starting next Thursday. Check it out. And until then, anybody mind if I roll knee?